It happened at a time where there was no such thing as sex offenders, just simply dirty old men who had their way with little girls. No one dared defend her because it was a secret. Kept a closed mouth hoping to beat it. Bribed with money, candy, toys, and whatever else that didn't come easy. Almost every girl in the neighborhood had touched Mr. Luther's dick. Lord have mercy. I myself had seen it, smelt it, touched it, and kissed it more times than a little bit. More times than I cared to think about. Can you picture it? 10 years old, not knowing shit about shit. My reflection in the floor-length mirror was disturbing at first sight. Blood running down my legs, soaking through my white tights. My pink sundress stained with dirt, blood, and his secretions. My veins were bulging. My dress was torn at the shoulder strap, and the buckles on the Mary Janes were broken. I had ran from the railroad tracks as fast as I could, never looking back to see if he were catching up with me. And when I reached the house, I bolted the front door, dashed down the hallway to the bathroom, and plopped on the floor. There, I found a sense of security. And on this blistering hot summer's day, I had it. And ain't nothing in this world sweet. And if it is, it's on the verge of being swept off its feet. Surprised by what is never seen. And when it happens, those who hear me today will remember me. By the way, to my family and friends, my name is Monique. I was a small girl, a little chunky in the face, but my boobs and my breasts gave me away. Moms made me wear a dress every day with some type of matching hairbrush. She refused to let me grow and wear things more appropriate for my age. Mr. Luther was the candy man for our street. He sold everything from pickles to cookies, sour to sweet. And every morning before school, for as long as I could remember, he'd say, "Here, Monique, take this sour pickle to your mother. She loves my sour pickles." See, moms was raised to believe that a man comes first. And if they were to give you the attention, then you were to keep that attention. But what's worse? A household without a man, or a daughter who thinks she can, but can't? I couldn't fight him alone, and she knew that. So it wasn't long before he started bribing me with cash. At this point, I was 15, body like a brick house, maturing fast. I had a friend named Tangie. She tried to help me, but I told her all I did was touch it mostly. He never put it in me. Plus $20 a week, and all the pickles moms wanted was putting it fair at 15. One day, Mom said that she was going out of town and that Mr. Luther was to come watch over me and keep me safe. Keep me safe? I tried to tell her that day, but she shut me up. I thought I would faint. And that night, as I nestled in my bed, I heard a knock, a slide of the key and a turn of the lock. I trembled as he rubbed it against my back. His breathing became heavier and movements more swift. And when he shut off, it hit my back like hot acid. I didn't budge. This went on for weeks. "Thank you, Miss Monique," he sighed and returned out there to where he belonged, them streets. Last day of school, I walked home alone. Biggest mistake I ever made, 'cause the wolf roamed. I could smell the liquor and incense on his clothing when he attacked. Yeah, the sun went down without the night, but I didn't have time to be scared. His arms on my legs while his upper body pinned my torso to the ground. No signs of life around, just me, the possessed, and my possessor now. You can't ask God how she can hear me down here with all this loud, deafening sound. I imagine her in a cocoon made spinning to the rhythm of this wild tune, and that she was so dizzy that she wouldn't have reached up out of me because she would have killed me. He grabbed my crotch and rubbed it so hard that it burned. He thrust his fingers in my vagina and thumb in my butthole. That was the beginning and end of my soul. You'll be proud of me now. I spoke 2 languages, the language of the living and that of the dead, making me fearless now. But then I was defeated. He turned my frail body over and covered it before I had a chance to call out to the earth first. And with his other hand, Mr. Luther released his dick, and he rammed it in, and it hurt. My eyes bulged from their sockets. Excruciating pain took through my body like a bomb rocket. I felt like a science project. Scrutinized, hypothesized, tested and tried. It's still no good. As he wiggled his way deeper into my womanhood, with no compassion and with no mercy. And as he moaned and grunted on top of me, I managed to get one of my hands free. I reached for a piece of glass, and when he lifted himself from me and looked upon me with his eyes sick, still erect, I in one swing sliced him across his dick. Victory rose up as he fell to the ground onto his back. Look who's on top now, jamming in the balls with the shard of the glass one last and final time. I never felt as beautiful as the day I was filled to the brim with the world's filth. And after that, nothing else mattered, not even this rhyme. Standing in the mirror, I had come face to face with something I had grown to know all too well, fear. I was afraid that Mr. Luther was going to come bursting through that door to finish his business. His business. I was afraid that someone was going to know that I had hurt Mr. Luther. I removed my pink sundress and I placed it on a hanger. I put it in the bathroom with me as a reminder of what hell had been like for me. I turned on the hot water and contemplated whether to take a bath or a shower. Taking a bath will force me to sit in my filth and allow it to soak further into my soul. And I didn't want that. As the water beat against my back, I could see the swirls run down the drain with the dirt and the pain that I had experienced for years. I leaned up against the towel wall trying to figure out what I allowed myself to get into. The hair bows, the dresses, the Mary Janes, all of those things made him want me. I shed a tear for every girl in the neighborhood at that moment. I could see the suds swirl down the drain as I watched a part of me disappear. I went into the bedroom and packed my shit, jeans, t-shirts, tennis shoes. I went back into the bathroom and took out a pair of scissors and cut my hair off down to the scalp. I took some wave pomade out of the cabinet and spread it in my palms and rubbed it into what was left of my straight black hair. And the sink was my femininity. I was prepared to leave it behind. I took an ace bandage and wrapped it around my bust until I was flat. I put on a t-shirt, some jeans, and a pair of Mom's old work boots. I went back to the mirror to look at myself. At that moment, I had made up in my mind that I wasn't sticking around to deal with anything that reminded me of Miss Monique. I didn't care if that motherfucker bled to death out there in that field. There'd be no more hair bows, no more dresses, no more Mary Janes, ever. I grabbed my shit and I headed for the back door. And no, By the way, I'm now known as that nigga they call Mo.